It's 5:33. For the first time in 2 decades, an impeachment inquiry into a president is documented by public hearings.
The first open hearing was held yesterday on Capitol Hill, with lawmakers grilling a pair of veteran State Department officials. Eyewitness News reporter Jan Carabeo is live in our CBS 3 News Center with the details. Good morning, Jan.
Jim and Janelle, good morning. Bill Taylor and George Kent testified before the House Intelligence Committee for more than 5 hours yesterday. The pair insisted they are nonpartisan career public servants working to advance U.S. interests. But they told lawmakers they became increasingly alarmed over an irregular effort to pressure Ukraine into announcing investigations that would benefit President Trump politically.
Do you swear or...
The top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, William Taylor, opened his testimony with a new detail yesterday that a member of his staff, David Holmes, overheard a phone call between President Trump and EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland. Taylor told lawmakers the president asked the ambassador about the investigations.
Following the call with President Trump, the member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden.
President Trump on Wednesday denied having that conversation with Sondland and dismissed the testimony as hearsay.
All third-hand information, nothing direct at all. It can't be direct because I never said it.
A line reiterated by Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee.
You didn't listen on President Trump's call and President Zelensky's call?
I did not.
You've never talked with Chief of Staff Mulvaney?
I never did.
You never met the president?
That's correct.
This is what I can't believe, and you're their star witness.
This, the first public hearing of the impeachment inquiry, follows more than 100 hours of closed-door testimony with 15 witnesses. But a number of administration officials have refused to appear, ordered by the White House not to comply.
I'd be glad to have the person who started it all come in and testify. President Trump is welcome to take a seat right there.
While House Democrats say Wednesday's hearing helped build their case that the administration withheld U.S. military aid to pressure Ukraine to open politically motivated investigations, Republicans argue the aid was released and there was no quid pro quo. Now, public hearings continue on Friday when Marie Yovanovitch will testify. She served as U.S. ambassador to Ukraine for nearly 3 years before being recalled by President Trump. A transcript of her earlier testimony recounts how she felt President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was trying to ruin her reputation. Jim and Janelle, back into you.
All right, Jan, thank you.
Well, the impeachment inquiry hearings will resume tomorrow. You can count on CBS 3 for live coverage. When we're not on television, you can, of course, get all of the latest information at cbsphilly.com.